What's good, y'all? So, let me just say, a while back, I did a video, The Evolution of Usopp, and it was my personal take on Usopp and where I foresee him going. I think I'll put that link in the description below. Now, for some people, for some reason, people once again are sleeping on another straw hat. Now, I posted a video not too long ago, like last week. Stop sleeping on Luffy. Dealing with a bunch of foolishness. People are sleeping on Usopp apparently. If you are not up to date with the most recent chapters of One Piece, my bad, y'all, there will be some spoilers, okay, in this video, hands down. Now, I just don't get it. Especially last week. The last 2 weeks, people hating on Usopp, calling him cowardly and saying, I get it. I get their thoughts, but he's a pussy, he's pathetic. I'm looking and I'm like, what? Are they reading the same manga I am? No, apparently not. People want him to be what he's not. Dude, I'll deal with everything. You see this as his combat prowess. All this deals with his combat prowess. Okay. Now I know people want to see Usopp be badass and go in, but understand this. Understand what kind of fighter he is. Understand his combat powers, where he is in line with his power scaling in the Straw Hat crew. Understand all these things. Okay. I'll start with his power scaling in the Straw Hat crew. He's currently 8th. Okay. You have currently that this is what I see. Monkey D. Luffy, Roronoa Zoro, Sanji, Tony Chopper. I actually have him as 4th because of Monster Point, because of if he actually goes, I'm talking about all out. Okay. Then I have, who do I have? Frankie, close 5th. Then I actually have Soul King Brook, Nico Robin. Yes, I've dropped it down. Usopp, then Nami. At this point, now that may change soon, but understand that he is 8th. Now I don't consider any of them the weakling trio anymore. I don't. It's just he's 8th among the Straw Hats in power. Some would drop him down. He's not lower than Nami. He's not much lower than Robin either. Okay. But it's just Robin has more mastery over Devil Fruit. And and there's a couple reasons. If I did an analysis, I'd explain why that would be the case. But when you take a look at it, Usopp is the most strategic of all the Straw Hats. Period. I don't care what anybody says. He simply is. When you're talking battle-wise, oh hell yeah. Number 2 is Nami. Number 3 is doggone Nico Robin. Is Robin. And number 4 is a toss-up between Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. When you take a look at it, Usopp is a sniper. Understand that's what he is. He serves as multiple roles on the ship, but his position is a sniper. He's a long-range fighter. He's a long-range combatant. That's what he is. He's the only Straw Hat. Now he can hit you at close range, but he's the only Straw Hat at this point that specializes in long-range combat. That presents a lot of challenges in most confrontations, because most confrontations happen in the close quarters, not long range. Now he can fight close quarters, and he actually has phenomenal durability, which I'll get to at a later point in this video. But the very least is he's not on the same level as these freaks in the New World. If he was in the Grand Line, he'd be pretty damn powerful. He would be. If he was in, he is in the Grand Line, but if he was in Paradise, he would. Would he be captain level of a ship? That's debatable. No, I don't think I would have him as captain, but I have him as top officer. in paradise. Yes, it would. This is the new world. In case people have forgotten. And what do I constantly say about the new world? The new world is where the strong survive and the weak die or get the hell out. Usopp is rightfully terrified. Rightfully terrified. Now, yes, would I like to see he does go overboard a bit much? Yes. Part of it's comedic, part of it's his characterization. And you're like, but he trained on his eye. Look, man, understand about his training, and I'll go through his durability, and I'll go through the different elements to get y'all to understand the totality of the picture. Why? Visualize the picture I'm painting. In the post times, and during the time skip, his was arguably the most dangerous, probably out of biologically it was the most dangerous island, definitely. No. Second most dangerous island. No. Third. No, it is the third. I was making sure. It's an eating island. It's what it was. The Boyne Island Archipelago was an eating island. His time skip was rough. The dude Hercule, however, what his actual name is, Hercules, I think. He was a monk. He was beastly. Zoro had a harder time with the whatever kind of apes those were, the blade wielding apes, the sword fighters. And then Luffy, he was on, what did they really say, 300, 500 animals more powerful than him on the island at that time. So yeah, so Usopp has the third most dangerous islands that he's on, right? Okay. He comes back straight beast, looking, manly and whatever. And Nami states that, you're no longer weak and kind of stuff. He's like, I'm no longer part of the weakening trio, and they exit the bar and everything. They're on Sabo. They were still in paradise. They get to Fishman Island. Fishman Island's journey was crazy. Not gonna lie, it was crazy. Dropping 10,000 meters to the bottom of the sea, pretty much. 10,000 meters below the sea. They leave. They enter into the new world. The seas are topsy-turvy. They go, the first island they hit on in the new world is not even a registered island. The real first island, you can say, is Dressrosa. But anyways, they get to doggone Punk Hazard. They get to Punk Hazard, and what happens? They're on an island of fire and ice. They're on a island of fire and ice. Now I will get back to the combat on on Punk Hazard later. On Dressrosa, it is an island. Who's the king? Don Quixote do Flamingo. Heavenly demon Don Quixote do Flamingo, aka Joker, a Shichibukai. Usopp has never been a fan of going up against a Shichibukai, especially someone as powerful as Doflamingo. Considering many, along with myself, consider him the second most powerful Shichibukai after Dracula Hawkeye's Mihawk. What do you understand? Not only that, their target, what is their target? Kaido. Yonko, 100 Beast Kaido. Not only that, back in Fishman Island, what happened? Luffy challenges Yonko Big Mom, Charlotte Linley. Not only, and then added to the fair fact, there's a thing with red-haired Shanks, but, Yonko red-haired Shanks, but, that's not really an issue. Doggone, Luffy has a beef, has a rivalry with Blackbeard, Yonko Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach. He's vowed to take down all of the Yonko. Understand what is up with this. Going back to the beginning, taking it back. Well, let me deal with the durability part, and then I'll retrace it with Usopp, okay? When you look at the durability fact, you look at two key fights, okay? One was a duel, one was a battle, one-on-one battle. Oh no, I'll actually throw three, because somebody actually reminded me of this. Okay, three. The first one, at Arlong Park, what happens? Usopp can't depend on Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji at the time. Nami was the one they were trying to save, right? He fought a fisherman by himself. He took a beating from a fisherman. Someone who said, a being who said they'd be 10 times the power of the average human. Usopp was pulling out trick after trick. I don't even know if he had his slingshot, but it wasn't like Kubato like he had later. Okay? He took on a fisherman by himself and he won his match. He took a hell of a beating and he won. When we fast forward to doggone Skypiea, he's battled with, was it Viper? I'm trying to remember. He's battled with a reject job. I'm trying to remember. How did he fight? I remember somebody mentioned that. He fought in Skypiea as well. Then but the main part, the duel with Luffy on Water 7. Usopp was willing to challenge his captain. He knew how powerful Luffy. He knew he was gonna lose. He pulled out everything. He took hits from Luffy. This dude was putting damage on Luffy. It's just courageous, unscared. Not scared at all. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the story. When we first meet Usopp, what happens? He's a liar. He's the village liar. His characterization, he's a liar. He tells the stories and whatnot. The boy who cried wolf, right? Understand that? His goal was to be what? Brave warrior of the sea, like his father Usopp. Okay. Okay. That's the characterization we have. That's his goal. That's his goal. Usopp is pretty damn normal compared to most of the rest of the Straw Hats, except for Nami. That's why they have theirs is a special bond, and she even admits to Usopp when they're in Alabasta. You know, she has to make a weapon. He makes her the climb attack the first time, right? She's like, "You get me? We're pretty much normal compared to these monsters." I ain't even have Nico Robin at the time, or Frankie, or Brooke. They had what? Luffy had a devil fruit. Chopper had a devil fruit. That was it at the time. But anyways, I mean, you had Zoro and Sanji. I mean, come on. When you look at, you know, Usopp, he gets on board and he was actually going to sail by himself. Remember that. He wanted to be captain. He was going to sail by himself. Become a pirate by himself. They invite him on the crew. Then we have Don Krieg and, you know, the Baratier arc. Does Usopp fight? I'm not sure, but he takes and he goes ahead to, you know, Arlong Parks and he does surveillance and he kind of waits for it. But he walks just badass up with Luffy and the rest. He didn't back away. He didn't shy away. Remember this, that Luffy and the Straw Hats trust Usopp. They know he'll get the job done. They're not stupid. They realize how powerful he actually is, how weak he actually is. See, Usopp's the kind of guy, you can't say he's a pacifist. You can say he's a coward, sure, fine, cool. But he's the kind of guy, unlike Nami, somebody talked about being a thief and backer in the corner, which I don't entirely agree with. Nami just don't like fighting, and look, you can't blame her. She has superhuman capability, you know, peak, I wouldn't say superhuman, but peak human abilities, but come on, she's not with these monsters in the One Piece world. And understand this is the One Piece world. This isn't the regular world. Look, people in the regular world are scared of war. They're scared of battle. Dudes don't want to fight. Here's a dude who's relatively normal. Relatively, he's above normal, but you understand, he's a pirate. He's a relatively normal pirate in this crazy world, getting constantly involved with very powerful people. His captain continually pisses off very powerful people. He's supposed to just go into battle and not be phased. It's humanity. He's human. He brings forth a very human element. Now, sometimes, you know, do I want Usopp to step in? Fine, yeah, definitely. But I can't blame him. When we go to doggone, you know, log time, they barely escape. His captain's almost executed, mind you. Then we go, you know, Drum Kingdom was nothing. Uh, all that was done. When we go to Alabasta, they're facing off against a Shichibukai. They're getting involved in the middle of a war, an actual war. You can arguably say it's a civil war. You had 1 million people clashing. Okay? Understand this. Understand these things, right? And so, with all of this, right? Sorry, y'all. It's craziness going on with my computer. If you hear some clicking. Anyways, we're in Alabasta, right? We're involved in the war. What does he go in? He tag teams up with Chopper, and they go in. Two of the some of the highest. Let's see. They were what, Mr. 5, Mr. 4. They were taking on some of the top officials, executives, whatever you want to say, top members of Baroque Works, the Baroque Works agency. Okay. Let's see, Mr. 4 and whatever. Let's see, the 4th. Shoot, Mr. 3 was, who took on Mr. 3? Mr. 3. Oh, Luffy took care of Mr. 3. But Sanji took on Mr. 2, and Zoro took on Mr. 1. Luffy took down Mr. 0, so Crocodile, there's a whole thing about his losses and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Usopp's fighting one of the top members. The dude is powerful. The dude has a 4-ton back. They doggone facing off against a mole woman. They're doggone facing off against, not only that, the dude with the back, he has a gun with a dog devil fruit that fires baseball. They hit it. And then there's explosions and all this. Usopp's getting pounded. The strategy that went into that battle, that's the first really strategic battle. Really strategic battle we saw in One Piece that I can remember, right? So Luffy and Chopper go into work. Usopp and Chopper go into work, right? Doggone, Usopp gets hit with a 4-ton back. He breaks his nose. If not for his nose, his face would have been done. His durability is ridiculous. I don't care what he 4-ton back. I'm just saying though. This is early pre-time skip. You feel me? They just got to the Grand Line. This is your second island up in there. Or third or so. But anyways, I'm not counting the whole, conflict with the island where Luffy and Zoro clash. I'm not counting that. Anyways, first real competition in the middle of the war. He went in, and then we go on from there. We go to Maka Island, to Jaya. Then we go to Skypiea. A whole different thing. You had the power of a god. You know what I'm saying? He had the lightning fruit, the lightning devil fruit. You had the Shindorians, and it was practically a war there. Usopp's up in the middle of that, and he's doing what he got to do too. He wasn't shying away. He was fighting like the rest of the Straw Hats. Then we go down there. There's the AOKG situation. He's an admiral. What are they supposed to do? Then we go to doggone Water 7. See, people are forgetting. Water 7, what does he do? He leaves the crew because of a different ideology, a different mindset different mentality in regards to the Golden Mare. Now, it was the ship he was given, but still, they were all attached to it, but they realized, but Usopp's like, no. And then he dueled with his captain. He wanted to be brought back in, and then that whole thing. Then he doggone Sogeking went in, with Robin to try to help Robin. And then he confronted, then the Giants of Alabasta and all this on in his lobby. And then his conversation. What did Sanji do? Y'all remember what Sanji said in his lobby? What did Sanji say? Sanji goes and we all have different things. Now, the gist of it was you might not be as strong, but there's something you can do. Remember he shoots down the world government. Luffy couldn't trust him with that. He's like, okay. And and that's the time when Luffy didn't know Sogeking was Usopp. But anyways, doesn't matter. You got Usopp along with the rest of the Straw Hats trying to rescue Robin, and in turn sort of rescue Frankie at the same time. But anyways, his doggone his sniping ability. He showcased that when he hit. He was putting in work. When they were getting out of the castle, he was putting in work. And then doggone when they were escaping on the Mary, he was putting in more work. He was sniping fools when it was all rocking and stuff. Manga Me talked about this. He put in work. He keeps putting in work. He was sniping fools. His Firebird Star. He's created weapons. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody else has done that on the Straw Hat crew. He created the Climatech, the perfect Climatech and stuff. He created, he's upgraded his Kudato and all these things. Then where do we move from there? We move to what? Was it Thriller Bark after in his lobby? I believe so. It's Thriller Bark. And then his battle with Perona. The only one of the Straw Hats who could stand up to her Devilfruit ability, because the thing was about gloomy or depression, and he's always there. And he was actually, it was a funny kind of battle, but he fought one-on-one. He took care of business. You understand? He went there a bit overconfident. But see, the thing about Usopp, if he has a confidence, if he knows he can win, he's gonna go in there, no problem. It's just when he feels like he can't fit, he's insurmountable odds, he clams up, which is quite common. See, the thing is, people want these beastly OP characters. I love the beastly OP characters. I mean, Luffy is my current favorite character in all fiction. But I still love the humanity. I told people, Usopp, post-time skip, became actually my third favorite character. Sanji in his Dressrosa arc is actually got a lot of points up for me. And he may surpass eventually in the new world, but I don't know, because I was not, I needed to see him actually get some character development, which he's actually getting. But anyways, that's another point. This arc, Usopp's a bit frustrated, but I still understand it. It's inside of his character. People will talk about character development or character regression. It's not character regression. I understand it. Now, when we go to Thriller Bark, we move on there. Second Shichibukai, mind you, we go to Saburi. And Luffy he punches a world normal, a celestial dragon. Do y'all understand how crazy that is? The wrath, that's declared war. They already declared war on the world government. Okay? Not only that, now you are actually threatening the power structure. Your captain has threatened the power structure of the world government. You had Admiral Kizaru, you had the tyrant Bartholomew Kuma, and then they get separated. Usopp's what does he do? Just like the rest of the Straw Hats, he's like, alright, my captain needs me. We gonna beastly race up. We get returned, and then there's the whole, post-time skip, because Luffy focused on Luffy and what he did to the war and all that. Post-time skip, he comes back, Sabu, been there, done that. Nothing to him, and no threat. Coming out beastly, handle business, because the dude's weak. He has the Fishman Island. Did he have a problem with Fishman Island? No. Once he got in the battle, what did he do? He put in work. He helped out Sanji. He was in there. He was being strategic. He was doing what he was doing along with Zoro and the rest. So all the Straw Hats were putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Helping on. We see doggone Punk Hazard. We see Punk Hazard, man. Understand this. On Punk Hazard, what did he do? He didn't shy away. When Caesar Clown, he actually came up with something pretty strategic. If Caesar Clown didn't have an OP, overpowered Devil Fruit, overpowered Logan, and a freaking gas fruit that can control all gas in the surrounding area within a relative range. Now, if he was, more tuned, oh, good Lord Almighty, that fruit is devastating, absolutely devastating, easily one of the most powerful in the One Piece world. You're going up against that, has no hockey, no armament hockey. Okay, if he had armaments hockey, it's over. Oh, I guarantee it's over. But don't know his abilities. What does he do? He's protecting. He does the flame thing. He's fighting. He's unscared. Because it was desperation. Because he had to. He showed up. He put in his work. He got beat. I mean, Luffy got beat the first time. What is not registering? But then there's the whole thing about Nami and him, the back of someone they can get him. That's funny. It sounds sad, but it's funny to me, anyways. But anyways, the Kairoseki, Luffy entrusted Robin. What did Robin do? She trusted Usopp to get the Kairoseki, the Sea Stone handcuffs. That's what he does. And he actually helped to save, Luffy and the rest of them. Because he got into control against all of them. People like, oh, he should be able. Why is Usopp scared to face all these guys? There was like doggone 20 of them up in that room. He ain't Luffy. He ain't Zoro. He ain't Sanji. He ain't even doggone Robin's ability. Okay? Usopp, and he's also a what again? He's a sniper. He's a long-range fighter. And he was just about doing his mission. He's about the mission. He's always, because you gotta also realize this, he brings the practical thought to Luffy, because Luffy's often wandering and deviating from the mission. Usopp is about the mission. So he's about his mission. He's not trying to get into unnecessary fights, which is actually quite smart. And he realized his limitations as a human, not as a freak of nature. So Usopp, he gets in there, whatever, he takes care of that situation. He goes in there and he snipes down Buffalo and Baby 5, Caesar. They take care of Buffalo and Baby 5, which is pretty impressive. Those are actually, we find out later on, executives of the Don Quixote Pirates, of the Don Quixote family. Okay, they're actually members of the Don Quixote family. Now when we go to Dressrosa, Jorah was able to screw over Chopper, Brook, and Nami. People are like, well, how can you do? She has a Hax Devil fruit. So don't come. Chopper's a Zoan. Okay, she has a Hax Devil fruit. Chopper, I say he's the fourth strongest only because if you actually put him in a serious battle, he's a ship stock. He ain't trying to fight. Okay, that's just what it is. Kind of similar to Usopp. They got a Nami, and it's not just because of weakness, because their goal is not to fight. Now, Usopp, I believe later on down the line, he will have a change. I think people have to die, and it might actually be in this arc. Dwarves dying might actually be in this arc. So, Usopp, what happens? He's with Robin, Trafalgar Law. He's with Law, Robin, and Caesar Clown. They're on a delivery mission to deliver Caesar Clown to Doflamingo. They find out they've been tricked. Doflamingo's coming for their heads. Don Quixote, Doflamingo. Doflamingo's coming from their heads. Law holds off him, and Admiral Fujitora comes in there. But before that, Robin and Usopp, they're wandering and they get trapped by the dwarves. And Usopp's line actually saves their lives. These dwarves are no joke. They're powerful. They're fast. They're powerful. They're very strong. Okay? You see how easily they captured Robin. I'm just saying though. So anyways, he gets allies, and I know he promotes himself with all this hockey and stuff, but it's Doflamingo. It's Doflamingo. Was right there. You see what happened. If Sanji didn't get in the way, Brook, Momonosuke would have been captured. Brook, Nami, Chopper, they're dead. Sanji comes in, Sanji's handled. Trafalgar Law did some things, and Law got handled easily. I think he had one scratch on Doflamingo. Come on, people. So anyways, we fast forward, right, between all this. It's Usopp and Robin, and Frankie has to go up and go through because he can't fit, and also because it's a great distraction. And he's battling Senior Pink, Malkavis, and then we have the Vice Admiral Bastille come up in that, right? While Luffy, Zoro, they're currently off, facing off against Pika, Violent, some Kimon somewhere, the rest of Straw Hats are somewhere else. Their heads is Zoe, and they have Big Mom on their trail, like these ship, the flagship, right? Her main ship. Usopp and Robin are up against, the toy, they're up against Sugar and Trail. Now, understand this. 2 Hax ability users. Sugar with the toy fruit, and Trable with the sticky fruit. Now, we didn't know how the sticky fruit was, but understand this. Sugar, she takes care of freaking like half the dwarves that charge her. like that. Touches their contract, done. They're done. She makes people forget. Usopp's watching this foolish. She's watching this massacre overhead. All in one fell swoop. Toy soldiers gone, the rest of the door, and some of them, I can't say half the doors ever, toy soldiers being beat up, whatever. This is the Don Quixote family. The Don Quixote pirates ain't no pushover, they ain't nothing to sneeze at. So he still has this hacks ability he has to deal with. And doggone, you have Trable, senior executive Trable. We're talking about a guy on the level of Diamante, on the level of Pico, and arguably on the level of Vice Admiral Verga. We're talking somebody who Luffy would beat, but Zoro, Luffy, Zoro, the monster trio handles Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. That's who they fight. That caliber of opponent, and more powerful they would be. But you understand what I'm saying? You look at what Trable has done. Trable, he's taking all these pirates. They get trapped in their sticky fruit, his sticky substance, and he's in there. He sticks them. Cavendish done. We don't know about Don Chinja, but most all these powerful pirates. Hello? Look what he's up against. What do you just want him to do? Be stupid? Of course he's like, yo, let's get out of here. First of all, be able to regroup. Secondly, if you don't have to fight, like seriously, people, what do you expect out of this young man? The dude's 19 just like Luffy. He's fighting, Trable and Sugar are probably arguably in their 30s. I'm not making excuses, but this is a situation. They're powerful people. This is the new world, man. This is the new world. He ain't trying to mess with these folk. And plus, and let me finish that, and then I'll finish this up with a couple more things. When you look at it, man, I believe he can take down Sugar. I really do. He's the perfect fighter because Robin, is questioned because she's a hand-to-hand combat because of with her hands, the floor beneath and all that jazz, right? Cien floor, mil floor, dos floor, all the flower floor. He's a sniper. Treble presents a hell of a problem. He does. And the fact is, it's flammable. His sticky is flammable. Now, Usopp, that actually possibly Usopp can do it. But I've said this. I stated this last week. I believe this. A Robin Usopp team up, they could beat Trable. They could beat them. I don't think they're gonna knock out Sugar and everybody turns back. I don't believe that fools. All these pirates, they were taken down by Trable already. This is the strides. Do not underestimate the strides. Never underestimate the strides. Doflamingo sweating because Luffy. He's sweating. Usopp, he recognizes Soge King. Even Soge King. When you look at all the factors, when you look at it, Robin, we already seen that. Trable is a, Sugar, I don't think she's physically all that durability-wise. I don't think she's that powerful. I don't think she's a tank. I think if you hit her with enough damage, she'll definitely be done. Or a trapper, whatever Usopp can do. When you look at Trable, man, we've already seen Robin use clones, and Trable's a headlong guy. He's headstrong, he's rushing, kind of sort of like enhancers are, and enhancer nin users in Hunter x Hunter world, okay? And so we've seen him, and he's fast too. Y'all gotta realize he's fast and he's very powerful. Launching ships in the buildings and stuff. Okay, lighting doors on fire because of his sticky fruit exploding and jump. They exploded. Look at this. Look at what Usopp is watching. Look at the carnage. And y'all just want him to go headlong into this battle with a dude who's well above his tier. There's power levels, power scaling, okay? Robin, I believe she can distract him. Usopp can hit him. I think he can hit him. It's gonna be tough. Now, hopefully Robin and Usopp got a bit of observation hockey. Especially Robin. Usopp is questionable, but you understand what I'm saying? Now, last point about this. Remember I said he's mission oriented. He needs a direct goal. Whenever you watch his fight, whenever you watch him fight and fight at his greatest, he has a direct goal. When he's brave, he has a direct goal. And plus we're not even anywhere near the end of the series. Don't expect him to be all badass and stuff. That will come in time. He will be a brave warrior of sea. I understand that. None of the Straw Hats are anywhere close to reaching their goals. So why do you expect Usopp to be? And lastly, they were supposed to go after Kaido. I know he's a Yonko, whatever. Usopp wasn't happy. He was no more thrilled about that. But still, that was the plan. They've deviated completely. This was not the plan. So yes, Usopp's trying to follow the plan. The plan was to destroy the factory, deliver Caesar Clown, and doggone head out and pursue Kaido. That was the plan. The plan, it's got deviated. Half the crew split up. Him and Robin are against these powerful people. Frankie's left. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't. There's what more I can say? What really more I can say? People, Usopp is beastly. You just have to understand him as a character. His battle powers, his combat powers is beastly. It will increase. He's arguably the most versatile of the Straw Hats. With all his things. Besides Luffy? Yeah, I think he's second to Luffy. Luffy's a fighting genius. Luffy has all these techniques and whatever, right? Besides Luffy, Usopp actually is the most versatile. He's the most strategic. When he actually gets into battle, he's a I wouldn't say a monster, but he's right below a monster. And once he learns armaments, he learns observation, he'll be greater. But these are the experiences that he needs to go through. He needs to be confronted with this, and he will grow from it. And especially, remember this, understand this, mark my words, when he gets to Elbaf, it will change everything. When he goes to Wano Country, it probably will change. But when he goes to Elbaf, the home of the Giants, it will change. Because remember, he said he wanted to train there. I believe also that I said this in my Evolution of Usopp video, that he will probably train under Zoro, under Roanoke Zoro, in hockey. I believe that. Now, while Usopp and Luffy are like brothers, he respects very heavily Usopp, and who better to train than Usopp? I'm just saying that. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. I know this video is as long as a mug, but it doesn't matter. It had to be said. It needed to be get out because I'm tired of foolishness. I'm tired of people not understanding characters. I'm sick and tired of all this whining and complaining, moaning, no freaking literature, no characters, know how they are. People don't really complain about how Robin is. They don't really complain about how... No, they do somewhat complain about how Luffy, but they misunderstand Luffy. They misunderstand characters. And then we have this. Alright, y'all. Till next time. Peace.